Hello, good evening, and welcome to THFC Till I Die, your home of Tottenham past, present, and an exciting future under Ange Postecoglou. I can hear myself in the background. Past, present, and an exciting future under. When can I hear myself? Right. Well, are you there, Tequila? Right. Well, okay. We'll see when he comes back. What a way to start the show. Good evening, guys. Hope you're all well. And look at that. We're nearly at the 1,900 bit. Who knows? Can we get there in this stream? I hope we can. How are we doing this evening, guys? And firstly, I want to know that Tequila is back with us. Are you back? Okay. He's muting himself, but hopefully he will be back in a minute. Firstly, Kate was due on tonight from Just a Girl Who Loves Spurs, but sadly, Kate isn't well. So, Kate, if you are watching, I hope you're feeling a wee bit better, and you will be on next week. And welcome back now, Tequila. Hello.
Sorry about that, guys. I was just grabbing a drink because it's still really hot here. So.
I was doing a big intro and I could hear myself in the background.
Yeah, again, I forgot to mute myself. Sorry, guys. So unprofessional. What we're going to do here.
Look, we're going to welcome a few people in, and then we're going to... Tonight's show, really, it's not... It is about Ange. Does Ange have a plan B? And we're going to go through that. But
there's quite a lot of topics, isn't there? We've got quite a lot of diverse ones.
And the second part of the show is about sacking managers and why keeping a manager in the job longer is worth the weight in gold, because no manager since Pochettino has lasted the second season under Levy since Pochettino.
No.
And for me, that is nowhere good enough. If you want to back a manager, you back them to the hilt, you back them to the end. But look, I've got a little bit of stats there, and maybe some people think these stats are useless. To me, I think they make my point that getting a manager in, backing them all the way, letting them in all the time is worth it. So we'll get on to that. I'll welcome a few people in. We've got a little bit of breaking Spurs news to start off with as well, Tequila.
Okay.
It's nice to see when I talk, you talk as well at the same time. It's brilliant.
It's because of my unprofessionalism, because I haven't got my headphones on yet, see? So he's hearing you and speaking for me. Thanks a lot.
It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. My name is Tequila, and not a lot of people know that.
My name is Michael Caine.
Oh, is that it? My name is Michael Caine.
My name is
Not
Michael.
a lot of people know that.
I'll put my headphones on in a sec. Just give me a sec.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, big up to GJ Samuel. All right, let's go. Course, exactly. Are you getting ready for the season? I'm already getting bumped up. Yeah. Mrs. Tron has had to put stuff in the wall so I don't keep putting holes in the wall. I'm that piped. I'm that pumped for the season. I'm already starting. I'm like a rhinoceros. I'm starting headbutting the walls and putting holes in the wall. I'm that pumped for the season, Tequila.
I know. We can't take you anywhere, mate. You keep breaking all the china. I can't take you anywhere.
I know. It's ridiculous. Big up to Hot God 10. Big up, James. Hope you're doing well. Evening all. Hope everyone is well. We are grand. Again, just hope get well soon, Kate. Hope you're feeling better. Her link to her show is in hashtag Just Girl Love Spurs. So if you haven't subscribed, just hit the hashtag link in the description and you will find it. Big up to Louis Chew Music. I find it weird that Gallagher hasn't signed for Madrid yet. Well, he's on his way back. Your favorite. I'll tell you one thing. This is Tequila's favorite transfer of the whole summer.
Honestly, he never ends. I bet you he got there and someone just said to him, you know what? Let's just drag it out. Let's just drag it out another couple of months just to piss off some of the Spurs fans. That's what they did.
Do you think he might end up at Spurs?
For comedy, for my own personal comedy value, I think he's got to now. For my own personal comedy value.
You see him rocking up the Hotspur way, just with on this back. I just did this for Tequila.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They just dragged it on just so they could muck around with me some more.
Yeah. Look, you drove Tequila to looking like a lemon with no hair, driving somewhere in Marbella.
Did it remind you of someone? Or did it just remind you of someone?
Yeah, Donald Trump.
That's one person it could be. Take your pick. One thing about Kate, we are trying to rearrange with her, so you'll see her at some point, maybe next week or the week after.
Next week, yeah, we did say that. Big up to Louis Chigi. Some people find Ange is naive and doesn't have a plan B. I think he does have a plan B.
We'll be talking about it very soon. Yeah.
We will be. We will be talking about it. And then we've got Simply Ace. Big up Simply Ace. Hello, everyone. Hello. Haven't seen you before. Please do hit the like button, the subscription button, the notification bell, and all that jazz. Tequila. Also, what else can people do while we fight the good fight against YouTube?
They can join our Patreon demo, which I'm about to put into the chat. That's great timing. Great minds think alike.
Yeah.
For €3 is the starting point, and it goes up. But if you can come on the post-match fan shows, which we're going to be doing for every proper game. I say proper as in the Premiership, the Carabao Cup, FA Cup, and obviously the Europa League. So if you become a member of Patreon, you will get to come on those shows and tell us your opinion, be it win or lose, be it if you're happy, sad, leave it in, leave it out, or whatever terminology you want to use. We don't mind. We're all we try to be as balanced as we can. So we'll take anyone on as long as you're respectful and polite to us. Or we'll take anyone on. So yeah. I'll just give me a sec demo and I'll put it into the chat.
Look, we're looking to start some new shows as well on match day. We're going to try to make your match day, you build up to match days more bit enjoyable this season. We're looking to bring in new. We're going to try to bring you along to the match day, aren't we, Tequila? We're going to try to get people built up in certain ways, aren't we? And a lot of it's going to be some pre-recorded, some live shows. We're looking to do a match day transfer talk show on match days now as well before kickoff.
We've just recently had a conversation about maybe trying to do a show right before kickoff, like a kind of team talk that we haven't officially decided on, but we're thinking about doing that, and we'll let you guys know more when we've officially put it together.
That could be up and running before the game against Leicester. So we're going to try to use everyone on the channel. They're all going to do the bit of match days, and this is what we love. I'll be there, of course. Me and Philip will be doing the watch-alongs as normal. Tequila will be doing the post-match with me afterwards. Philip and Boris will be doing the pre-match with myself. Anyway, so look, it's all about giving you the best content going. It's all about giving you the best build-up we can to the game, and we all love Tottenham. We all want the best build-up. So if we can go to the games, come to THFC till I die. Your home of Spurs, past, present, and the exciting future, and the way that we will give you the best coverage of all Tottenham games: League Cup, FA Cup, Europa League. You want it, it'll be found here on this channel. So do hit that and get to 2K. I want some money, don't we all?
That'd be nice.
Yeah. Big up to Colin as well, our partner in crime, also part of the THFC family, who actually came up with the idea. So big up, Colin.
See, even United fans can have good ideas once in a while.
I've said this before to you and Colin, haven't I? I want this channel to be as big as the United stand. That is my goal, isn't it?
Yep.
This channel, I want this to be as big as We Are Tottenham TV. If We Are Tottenham TV lads can do it, and I've been going, they're brilliant. They're an inspiration to all our Spurs channels.
They're good lads,
they are good lads. I've met them a couple of times. Met Bennett, met Sim once, met Ben twice, and what a lovely man he is. Lovely lads. We should buy Botman from Newcastle for the reason that when he plays with Mickey van der Ven, can call the parent Van der Sven. I like that idea.
To be honest, I was quite jealous when they signed Botman. I was thought, why aren't we in for him? So.
Yeah. Look, I'm going to start the question start with this, right? And I want to start here with you, Tequila, all right? Look, can I just point out, we're both not Ange out. I'm not Ange out. I've seen what Ange can do on other shows, and Tequila definitely isn't Ange out. And And can I just say quickly why he is an Ange out? We'll prove later in the show. We'll prove later in the show with the topic of giving managers time, and we'll prove that with what we found, won't it? With the PDFs we've got.
Yeah, that we've got history to kind of help us prove some things.
Yeah, but look, why I want to start with this is breaking news. Just to let you know, late last night, Dean Scarlett has joined Championship side Oxford United alone for the rest of the 24-25 season. Tequila, look, good luck to him. I don't think he's going to make it at Tottenham.
Me either, unfortunately.
He's going to be another Troy Parrott, and Troy Parrott was a waste of a talent. He really was. But he seems to have found his feet in Holland. Dean Scarlett, do you think that might be his level, or do you think he might surprise us and have a really good season?
If memory serves, and I could be wrong on this, right? Because I won't lie and say that I follow every single loan. I can remember every single loan to every single club. But this, I think, is the highest league that he's been loaned to. Because I think when he went to Portsmouth, that was League One, not the Championship. So this technically will be the biggest if you take away the couple of Premiership appearances he's had, because he hasn't had many. He's had a couple. So this will be, if he gets into the team, the big test of this. Now, if he does well and he can get himself some goals, then maybe you could say maybe there's still a chance. But I think he'd need to get maybe 20 or more if he can manage it. I don't know if he can or not. This is what I mean. We'll find out. But if he ends up getting a lot of goals in the Championship, he may still have a future. But I'm with you that I think that I can't see it, unfortunately.
Out of the two, Lancashire or Dean Scarlett, who do you think will make it? And I think I'm more leaning on Lancashire side more than Dean Scarlett, to be fair. And I don't like saying that, but
I think I think I agree with you. But Lancashire hasn't have anywhere near as many opportunities as Dean Scarlett. And Dean Scarlett, what is he, 20 now?
Yeah.
Of course, that's not old, but it is old if you consider the age of Lancashire. He's 17, isn't he? Or is he 18?
18.
So, and those 2 years are 2 big years in a player's growth, especially at that age. So, yeah, I don't think so for Scarlett. I mean, Harry Kane didn't have particularly good loans either. So you can never be 100%, but I don't see it, unfortunately.
But look, I just wish them all the very best. And, we all wish all our loanees all the best at their clubs this season. All of them. So, and Højbjerg, who I'm very sad is gone.
Yeah.
I'm still heartbroken over that, Tequila.
It doesn't look like we're going to replace him either.
I'm going to have to go. You're going to have to take over. I'm too upset to do the show with Højbjerg gone.
Can I feel little bits of elements of sarcasm? Just a little bit, Dermo. Just a tinge of sarcasm there.
Just a tin of sarcasm is right.
I remember the conversations you and Mia used to have about Højbjerg. That was funny, that one.
Yeah, Mia still thinks she schooled me on the Højbjerg debate. Do you know what? That was a bit of a rope-a-dope. I let her think she won, but she didn't. I did win.
Big up Mia, if she's watching, big up.
Yeah, big up Mia. You're sadly missed on YouTube, to be fair.
Yeah, she is.
I mean, she did accuse me to be Donald Trump when I said the debate was rigged and that it was stolen from me. But what can you do? What can you do?
Somebody tried to shoot you as well, Dermo. That was the other day.
Yeah, that was you. You missed Ben Edwards. Big up Ben Evening. I love Ben Edwards' YouTube picture.
Yep.
And we have got DDL Samuel says 50-50.
Yeah.
Kenneth Paul says this season will be lackluster. Are you a Liverpool fan? Let us know. If you are, I think you're going to struggle this season. I really do. Hot God 10 says Ange has a 4-year contract. Well, that doesn't matter much to Levy. And he should see it out. Unless he implodes and Spurs are in the relegation battle, which I can't see happening. I can't see it happening either, but it's all about...
no, probably not.
It's all about backing the manager, forgetting the noise. If Martin Edwards had listened to the noise with Ferguson and sacked Ferguson, would United would have gone on to success they had? No, they wouldn't have done.
No, I doubt it.
So it's all about you've got to back your man. We have to back someone. So why not back Ange? But again, where the killer will come from is you got to back him with players, which we haven't, to be fair. But can I just quote you one stat, Tequila? Ange has spent 300 million euros on players since he came to Tottenham.
Yeah.
So does that prove that Levy has backed him?
The word backed is not just financial. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It is partly. I'm not going to be stupid and say it's not a big part of it. Of course it is. But we have to believe that those were Ange's choices. If it ever comes out that it's not, and it wasn't Ange's choices, then like you, I would like to believe that most managers wouldn't put up with that. But some would. I don't think Ange would, but I can't say for definite. But I don't think I think most managers would. We know certain managers wouldn't.
Yeah.
So if the majority of them are his players, and when I say his players, either he's told them or they've said to him, these are the players we're looking at. Do you fancy any of them? Do you know what I mean? And maybe he's identified. I mean, they could, like, using Solanke, for example. We don't know if Ange was like, you know what? I really loved Dominic Solanke last year. Please get him in. Or we don't know if they came back to him with 5 players and on the list, one of them was Dominic Solanke. And they said to him, well, do you fancy any of them? We don't know because we're not there on a day-to-day basis.
We can only assume, can't we? We can only assume.
And we've got to assume that Ange played a big part. Now, there's going to be limitations. I'm sure if you asked Ange what player he wanted, he probably wants Mbappe. But he knows he can't ask for that. So there's going to be some limitations regarding realistic signings.
So do you then, Tequila, on that point then, do you think that Ange in this window or even the last window said, right, these are the players I want. You always got to have backups, haven't you, in everything you do.
Yeah.
But if you look at the Ivan Toney and Solanke thing, right? I know you're very underwhelmed with Solanke, right? You would prefer to go for an Ivan Toney or Vlahovic or somebody understanding.
Yeah.
I'm probably with you on that in some way, shape, or form. But I probably think, okay, he's a Spurs man now. I will back him.
Yeah.
But I can understand where you're coming from because I think a lot of fans do feel a bit underwhelmed by the Solanke deal. But do you feel that with Solanke that he comes with less baggage than Ivan Toney? And that Ivan Toney could be a little bit disrupted in the dressing room, whereas Solanke is more of gets what Ange is trying to build at Tottenham? Or do you think it shouldn't matter what a player is like?
No,
Tottenham should get the best, no matter what attitude they have.
No, I think our attitude is a big thing. Me and you don't. We don't know. We're not around them in the locker room.
No,
so
we're not.
We can only go on how they come across, snippets of it. 5 or 10 minute interviews over now and again that you see, and they've all got PR managers and PR training, and you know all this stuff happens. PR training and PR managers, right? So it's very difficult to get a true glimpse of these people. But what we do know is that Ivan Toney had, and that's quotations, had a gambling problem. We don't know if he had. We don't know if he has, but he had a gambling problem. So that has to work against him. Of course it does.
Yeah. Sorry, Tequila. I just found that funny. Ivan Toney. It sounds like something.
Ivan Toney.
It sounds like something out of what's the name of the train? Remember the cartoon, the trains we watched as kids?
Thomas the Tank
Engine. Here comes Ivan
Tanny the Tank Engine. Tanny the Tank Engine.
Yeah. Here comes Ivan Tanny round the corner.
A new player just invented. There you go. Ivan Toney. We're signing Ivan Toney, everybody.
A bet and sleep in one hand and a Spurs shirt in the other. What's he going to go for? I'll go for that.
Well.
Look, I think they've made the right choice, but look, it's the wait and see, isn't it? It's all wait and see, isn't it? And as you say, we're not there. Which brings me on to another point. Just welcoming a few more people.
Right.
Simply A says, if we want to succeed, we cannot go so open defensively. I think me and Tequila are on the safe wavelength on this one, definitely. We also need a few backup players or we'll end up with the same results. Hope I'm wrong. Tanner Paul says, no, a Spurs fan, but don't see us doing very good. You see tomorrow night our predictions. Tune in tomorrow night, 8:00 for our Premier League predictions.
Yeah.
There's a few delusional ones there, and there's a few sensible ones there. I let you guess where the delusional ones come from, but I let you guess where the sensible ones come from.
It's not just me and Dermo, by the way. I think there's 6. We've got 6, I think, haven't we?
Yeah,
6 different.
we've got 7, and we've got
7,
a video from Dave and Jack as well. Their predictions.
Oh, they sent in a video in. That's good then. Cool.
Ian Ferguson, afternoon, big up Ian. I hope you're doing well. So long time no see. Now, Tequila, a lot's happened over the last 48 hours in the world of Tottenham. Around one player.
Yeah.
Now the question is really I've got for you guys is can Ange, how should Tottenham respond to the allegations? Well, they're not allegations because they've been proven true.
Yeah.
Of Basuma being caught doing drugs on Snapchat. Was it Snapchat or X or TikTok? Was he on? I can't remember. One of the social media.
Wasn't it? I don't have any of them, Dermo. This is all what I've heard from you guys.
Mrs. Tron saying X, so I'm going with Mrs. Tron on that. It was done on one of the social media things.
Yeah.
Look, me and Philip had a sort of saying it last night that Philip thinks he's done with them. Philip did say he's done with them.
And Philip was one of his strongest defenders as well before this. I have,
It was. Ange has to now to make a stand on this situation, and I think it's going to make him or break him as manager. Why? Hang on, Tequila. Can you just take over for a few minutes there? Sorry.
Okay. While the demo deals with that, I'll deal with the chat. Who else is coming here? Where did we get up for? The 4-year contract. The thing is, of course, Hod God 10 is how many. Look at all the managers we've had, and most of them don't even get to sign a second contract. I think Poch is the only one who's actually lasted long enough, or did well enough, under Levy's remit, to actually be given a second contract. That's crazy, isn't it? If you think about it. No manager has ever done well enough for us to be given a second contract other than Poch.
Yeah, I'm going to make that point later, and that does bring us on. I mean, we can start with that, and then how do you want to run this one? Do you want to start?
Let's give our thing about Basuma because we kind of were in the middle of the Basuma. Yeah. Now, me and Derma have nothing to say now. I mean, I'll get this out of the way. There's worse things he could be doing, right? But that's not the point. There's worse things there's worse things he could be doing. There's worse drugs he could be doing. But he's an idiot. I'm sorry, and he's not a kid. He's not 19 or 20. No, he's I think he's 26 or 27. He's a mature man, or should be. He knows what he did was stupid. So either one of two things comes to my mind. Either one, he was too off his face on other things to care. Or two, he flat out just didn't care anyway. And if I'll be very concerned if it's the second one, because that means that for me, that is him showing a lack of respect for Spurs, a lack of respect for the fans, a lack of respect for his teammates. That's something that I don't know you can come back from.
He's let everyone down, in my view. Ange needs to banish him to the under-21s or banish him from the first team. He needs to make a point with him. You cannot just say, "Oh, don't worry about it. We'll find you a week's wages." What's a week's wages to these guys?
Oh, no, nothing.
And if he's so big on discipline, imagine if this happened with Sir Alex Ferguson at Man United.
Oh wow, yeah.
Would that player still be at Manchester United?
I don't know. I don't know what he'd have to do to get back in Sir Alex's good graces. I don't know what he'd have to do.
Roy Keane slagged off his teammates in the video and he got sacked because of that.
Yeah. He couldn't come back from it. Fergie
would
never know.
This is on. There's young players at Spurs look up to the first team, look up to Ange Postecoglou. They've got to set an example for the younger generation coming through. He's got many followers on whatever social media he's on that follow him. And there's going to be youngsters that are impressionable that are going to be, oh, if he can do it, I can do it.
Yeah.
And it's not right.
No, it's a bad example for his younger kids who look up to him just as a footballer, and it's a bad look for our academy players as well, some of whom might look up to him as well for football reasons, see him around the ground and stuff like that, and they're going to be think, well, that's how, once you make it. And this is the thing I'll get onto as well, is that Bissouma's problem? Is it a bigger problem? Does he think because he's at Spurs, who are a big club, okay, they're a bigger club than Brighton, it is what it is, does he think he's made it? Does that come out? Is this whole attitude? Is that what we're seeing? And is this why he's playing the way he plays?
Yeah. I mean, also, you've had the thing in the summer with Bentancur and Sonny. Now you've got this with Bissouma, right? Tottenham should come out and lead you. I will go through the chat, guys, so don't worry. I will get you all in a minute. But I think Spurs should come out with a statement. Well, I think Spurs should have come out. I think they did come out with a statement with the Sonny thing. But they need to come out. Ange needs to come out with something. Where before the start of the season, I don't think he should play on Monday. And but the fair, he didn't play very well on Saturday. On Saturday against Bayern Munich, anyway, and he hasn't been great this pre-season. He didn't show himself in any class last season either.
You know what it reminds me a little bit of. Now, not the crime. The crime is kind of different. Some people might consider it worse. It reminds me a little bit of the West Ham defender kicking the cat. It reminds me a little bit of that.
Well, yeah, or you could look at Dele Alli. How did they handle Dele Alli during his times of?
Yeah.
During his time of struggles, and did the club look after him? No, they didn't. If we knew then what we knew now about Dele Alli, I think he would have got more support from the fans than he did, because all of us were on Dele Alli's back because of his performances. Is there something behind this? And because social media wasn't so big then, Tequila, like it is now, is Bissouma doing this all the time? Is this the first time that he's been caught in the act doing it? Has he done that before? Yeah,
it's a slightly different question. It's like, we know that what people get up to, there's a privacy and there isn't a privacy. So, what people do behind closed doors is technically up to them. The reason why it's slightly different when it comes to a professional athlete is your body is what you use. That's what you get paid for. When you're a professional athlete, you get paid to keep your body in pristine condition. And it is a sacrifice, but that's what part of why you get paid the amount that you get paid is because you can't go out and there's lots of things that you can't do. You're not even really meant to go and have a drink. I'm sure lots of players will go have a drink or two, but you're not even really allowed to go out and get drunk and stuff like that.
Well, back in the day, back in the 80s, there was a massive drinking culture in the game. In the 70s and 80s. And I think Ange has to make a decision very quickly. Does he now get rid of Bissouma? As an example, if you do this, you're out the door. And I think he does. I think this will make or break Ange at Spurs, I think, with some players and fans.
But do you think then we've got 2 weeks or so left of the transfer window, give a day or two. So do you just offer him out then?
I would,
I would not sell him to this country. If I'm Bissouma or if I'm Bissouma's agent, I'm like, you've disgraced yourself in this country. We need to leave. Yeah, I don't think any other Premiership team, not because of his talent, even though he's not been amazing for us, but
no,
I don't think. I mean, unless Brighton want to go back in for him, but
I mean, he's been in the Premier League long enough to know what the Premier League is all about.
Yeah, of course he has.
Because who's going to touch a player that's been caught doing this?
You've got to remember as well is also now he was proven innocent in this, so I won't bring it up too much. But you could always say there's no smoke without fire. Remember that he got himself into trouble in a nightclub, didn't he? Before we signed him.
When at Brighton, that did come up. Now he did get found innocent. Yeah, you are right, and it is innocent until proven guilty. Yeah, but there's no
Like I say, like I know, I'm just trying to say that there's no smoke without fire. So maybe I'm just saying that maybe he had discipline issues regarding he was going out maybe when he shouldn't have been. You know what I mean?
Maybe. But it is I think if I'm right, it's a Class C drug. If I'm right, so it is. You can get done. So has he had a knock on the door by the police?
Well, like Hot God said in the chat, yeah. I this is what I mean. I know it's far from the worst drug, but that's kind of not
the point.
The point. I agree. He could have been doing significantly worse stuff, but you don't, and you certainly don't. You don't let yourself get filmed doing that.
No,
that is just stupid.
I get what this Hot God is saying.
Yeah,
I do get what he's saying, and probably he's correct in what he's saying. But you cannot, on any form, do this. You're an athlete. You're a representative. Even when you're not at the club, you're still a representative of Tottenham Hotspur Football Club.
Yeah.
And he's let the fans down. He's let the manager down. He's let the players down. He's let the board down. He's let Levy down. He's let everyone connected with Tottenham Hotspur Football Club down. Now, he's come out with an apology. Well, it's all great coming out with an apology. You shouldn't have done it in the first place. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone does make mistakes. Nobody's perfect.
I mean,
so,
Dermo,
should we go? So, yeah, go on.
No, go on, mate. Go on, finish. I'll come in a second.
So, does that mean then everyone makes mistakes, that everyone should go easy on them? No. I think Ange, I do believe this can make or break Ange with the players.
I think the Spurs are obviously going to have to do their own investigation. They need to find out, number one, is it a one-off, or is this a problem that, you know what I mean? Is this a deeper issue, a problem? And if so, maybe he actually needs help. You know, if it's an addiction, maybe he needs more help. Yeah. And then, but even so, he's still going to be guilty of it. The people are talking about, if we don't sell him, we've got to loan him out at least for a year and hope that maybe, because stuff, Dermo, you know as well as I do, that stuff does blow over time. Stuff blows over.
Yeah.
So if he comes back in a year's time, for argument's sake, let's say we send him to France for argument's sake, just for a year, it won't be as big a deal. It will be mostly forgotten by most people this time next year. Maybe that's how they have to deal with it.
But and I think you're right. But his form hasn't been great either, Tequila.
No.
His form has not been. If he was playing out of his skin every week, I think we would have a slightly different opinion on it. Look, drugs is wrong, and you shouldn't do drugs. That's what should go out, and it's correct. But I think we wouldn't be so hard on him. I think because of his performances have been pretty bad.
Yep.
And pretty lackluster. I think this is why we're going extra hard on him. I want to go to some of the start, and then we are going to get on to move on from that. But I think that will grow and grow. I think we will. I'd love to hear.
We'll just have to wait and see. Ange's got a pretty hard decision to make how he wants to handle it.
Also, his press conference Friday, he's going to be asked about it.
Do you think he's going to answer it, or do you think he's going to ask them just to no comment?
No, I think he'll answer it. But I think Ange has to. I said it before. This will make it. If he goes hard down on Basuma, then the players will know. Well, hang on a minute, we can't piss the manager off it. If you go easy on them, and think, we can do what we want, lads. It's a very hard balance in that.
It is.
But Fergie got it spot on somehow.
No, he's got to be whatever that discipline is, but he's got to be reprimanded for what he's done. Otherwise, the president for the young. I'm more worried about the younger players.
Yeah, so am I.
Yeah, I don't know what the punishment is. A fine's not enough because it doesn't hurt him enough. It just doesn't. So it needs to be some kind of a footballing penalty.
Yeah. Will the Premier League get involved? Will the FA get involved? Will they find that he's brought the game into disrepute?
I don't know. I feel they might leave it in-house. They might say, Spurs, you deal with it in-house rather than getting involved.
Yeah, I suppose so. Louis Chiamu says I would send him out on loan because no club would touch him on a permanent basis. Big up. Colin is saying the issue faced now is the news will reach further than England, which will affect his desirability to other clubs. That also means Spurs will have to lower their. Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
that is so true.
That is true. Yeah.
We've got low achieving music. The club physio will find out anyway because they're monitored 24/7. Yeah, that's true. Big up to Zeddy. Big up Zeddy. Great to see you again. So he says I'm 100% keeping him. Lads, people will forget about this in the week, let alone a year. No chance he goes. He does make a very good point. These do seem to,
they do blow over. I think it'll take more than a week, but I understand what he means.
I get what he's saying. He is right in what he's saying.
Yep.
I agree. It was dumb. He probably thought it was harmless act. Yeah.
Or he was just so off his face, oh God, that he didn't even realize. That's what worries me. That he was he was on other stuff. Yeah.
I saw that video. I think you did as well, Tequila. He looked pretty out of it.
That's what I mean. So he was probably doing a hell of a lot more of other things before he even touched it.
Yeah.
So there we are.
We'll move on for that. We were young once as well, Tequila.
I'm not angry at him at all, really, for doing it.
I look. We were all young once. We all done things when we were younger. We're not proud of. We've all made mistakes. But
my only retort is, if somebody, Dermo, be honest with you, if somebody said, Dermo, I'll give you $100,000 a week or whatever he's on, and all you've got to do is just keep your body in good shape, you'd do it, wouldn't you?
You would do it, wouldn't you?
Of course you would.
I mean, I'm 47, fat, dodgy leg, back broke, heart, dodgy heart, but I still go out and give it all for club and country.
And that's my biggest gripe with him, is that the fact is that he is obviously putting shit in his body that isn't going to do him any favours. That's it.
That for me is the annoying thing. You've let the fans down. You've let us down.
Yep.
You've let us down. Basuma, what you doing, man? You've let us down.
Yep.
You've even let Philip down. Philip was your biggest supporter.
It was. Philip, when we thought, but when there was talk of maybe selling him, he was defending you all the time. And now look what you've done to him.
Look what you've done to him. He was crying last night because of it. He was in bits. He was saying, "How could that?" He was dumping the table.
He was upset because you let him down. Philip
he didn't even want his pink M&Ms, Tequila, last night. That says everything.
What a diva, eh?
What a diva! He didn't even have his pink M&Ms.
It's all right. I'll finish him up for him, don't worry.
Yeah. Philip, if you're watching, I'm only joking.
You're only joking, mate.
He knows that. That's been a bit of a standard joke between me and Philip, him being the diva and pink M&Ms. It has been this. You know it has.
I want the green one. So Dermo's panicking because he has to do all these things for us divas. You have no idea.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, do you know him? I've got to get him a mastering before the show and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Bill will be around about 9 o'clock tonight for you.
I bet you will. Later than that.
Thinking either I'm not in.
I'm driving on my car, man. Look at that.
Yeah. Anyway, looking like, I swear to God, you do look a bit like Donald Trump.
It's meant to be a Daniel Levy thing, all right? That's why. It's me entertaining myself for my mate Danny.
I think it's brilliant. And to the little 6-year-old who does watch our shows, hello, Alex.
Hello, Alex. I hear that you like these animals I come up with. I'll come up with another one next week for you, I promise.
Yeah. There's got to be there's got to be a reason for the decline of there has to be a reason. Bentancur starts over him. Yeah, he is. We've actually done our predicted lineup, which will be coming out on Sunday. So watch out for that, guys. And we've made the decision here. What happens to him? Wilton McDonald. Now this is a legend. This man is a legend. This man is like he's a slightly higher than Philip in legend status.
Well, I didn't think he's higher than the Godfather.
Yeah, this man is Mr. THFC till I die. This is Mr. Tottenham. That's the highest status you get. He's Mr. Tottenham. For me. Hello, Dermot and Co. Big up, Mr. McDonald. It says, I'm so disappointed with this. I was elated when we signed him, but we must take a rational look at the situation. I don't expect Ange to pay him in any of the next 10 games. No, I don't think so either. I don't think. He does have a second point to it. Big up, mate. Big up, Zeddy. Big up, man. Great to see you in. Where's my one? See where he started. See what I've got to work with.
Wouldn't he want red? Wouldn't he want red? You're a United fan, mate. White Spurs. See, he's secretly a Spurs fan. Told you was.
I have to say, Tequila's the easiest Steve to work with. I must admit.
Thanks, Dermo. I think. Thanks, Dermo.
No, it's the easiest because you don't ask for much.
I'm just easiest to please.
And as for Boris, what Boris wants, you know what he wants, don't you?
God, that kid's going to be a nightmare when he gets older, Dermo.
I know he is. Big up Boris. We're only joking.
Bless him.
We're going to get so much abuse later in the private.
Oh, it's okay. We're used to it, Dermo. We're old.
Wilton here still think he has a future at Tottenham, but I think he will have a hard look at himself and remember where he's come from to be where he is. Let's not throw him out with the dirty laundry. Look, if Mr. Tottenham says that, I think we can't argue with that, can we? Ready to be fair, I think that's the wise and set. This is why we need fans like Wilton in the chat. They're wise. They're got experience.
They've seen it all, really, haven't they?
Yeah. So I think he's right in what he's saying. Okay, he's saying no, Dermot. Philip is the Godfather. I'm his shadow. Oh God, that means William. That means Wilton. You is Hitman. Colin says, "I'm just annoying. Red are too. I'm just being annoying. Red are too common. Yeah, you would do." And DAG Samuel says, "Double Big Mac and chips and a Coke."
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good for me. You could hear me and Tequila in the background typing our takeaway orders. Right, let's get on with this show now.
Okay.
44 minutes going through the chat talking about.
That's because me and you just rabbit, don't we?
We're like Chaz and Dave. Rabbit. Anyway, I'm so Chaz. Good. You can be Dave. Anyway, I want to just start Ange. We've had years of boring negative football, Tequila, right? And Tottenham have a certain way of playing. We love the Tottenham way. It's within their DNA that Tottenham play attacking football. That's Tottenham. No other club plays like Spurs. We're the entertainers.
How about Ajax? Do you not think Ajax have got that as well?
I don't care about Ajax. I only care about Tottenham.
When I think of club, I do think of Ajax as well.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but for me, Tottenham Hotspur were the entertainers.
Certainly in England. Certainly in England they are. Yeah.
Yeah. In England, that's Tottenham. Wilton would agree with that. Tottenham were, and in the 60s, Tottenham were the greatest team in the world. They really were, and would prove that later on. But can Ange Postecoglou's style of play, known as Ange Ball, can it involve? And I think, does it have to involve? I know he's come from the Scottish League, but do managers involve their philosophies in the second season? Does it have to involve, or do you want him to stay true to his principles and not change? Because I think I don't want him to change that much, but I think there has to be some. He has to involve in some way, shape, or form.
There's two things I was worried about when we signed Ange. Just two things. One was he hadn't managed, in my opinion, and I'm sure I might get a little bit of blowback. Some people probably give me some names. But in my opinion, he hadn't managed enough of the big egos that you deal with in Premiership League football. He had a couple of stars in Australia, like Viduka and Kuehl. And he had a couple at Celtic, But when you come to the Premiership, nearly all of them are on as much as he probably makes. I don't know how much he makes, but most of the players they're probably making just as much as him.
Yeah.
Flashy cars, the average Premiership footballer. So my concern was I don't know how he's going to deal with players like that who are like that and have that lifestyle. It's different. It's something that he won't have experienced much of. And the other thing that I was slightly concerned about was him not being used to playing against such high-level managers on a weekly basis. Because with all due respect to the Scottish League, the quality of managers wasn't that high in the Scottish League. and the same for a lot of the other places he's managed. So those are my two concerns that I had with Ange, and I don't know if they've been answered for me yet on either way. That's where I'm coming from.
I get where you're coming from, and I think you have a right to have them concerns. I don't think you're the only one. I think there's a lot of fans that want Ange out. There's a lot of fans that are Ange in, and there's a lot of fans that are Ange in the middle. And I think you're bordering on, look, give them time, but I want these concerns met with, and I think you want Ange to do well. You want to be proven wrong. You're not one of these fans that I want Ange out, but I want to be proven wrong. Am I right in saying that?
And for the record, I like Ange, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you what as well. One of my favourite, if not my favourite Spurs manager was Martin Jol. I don't think he was the best Spurs manager, but I said he was my favourite Spurs manager because of who he was. I felt proud. I loved Martin Jol. And in a lot of ways, Ange reminds me, not just because he's a big set guy like Martin Jol was, but he reminds me a lot of Martin Jol and his philosophy and how he treated players. So I see a lot of Martin Jol in Ange. But just like Martin Jol wasn't the best tactically, unfortunately.
Yeah. Look, so, do you feel I'm going to get blown back from this for what I'm about to say, but do you feel some Spurs fans are snobbyish when it comes to how they want Tottenham to play and who they want to manage? They seem to look down at Ange a little bit, some of the fan base. And do you feel they've had a Conte and we've had a Mourinho, but at the time they were shouting, "It's shit football. We don't want this football. Where's the attacking football?" We have a manager that comes in and plays attacking football, and they're still complaining. So is there a bit of snobberish in that? And I'm probably going to get blowback for that. But
you might do, but we'll take a look in a couple of minutes on your list of managers. But if you look at the managers we've had, let's say under the last 20 or 30 years, and you look where they've came from, like a Harry Redknapp, or you got to remember Martin Jol, using Martin Jol as an example. You got to remember that Martin Jol only got the job because Jack Santini was so terrible.
Sacked. Yeah.
And Jack Santini, of course, got the job because he was the French manager, unless my memory's gone wrong.
Was. I think he won the World Cup.
Yeah.
Or
so
the European Championship.
My point is that a lot of the managers who have come into Spurs have come from higher reputation or come from big jobs. Now, not all of them. The exceptions to the rule, I'd say, would be Pochettino, who came from Southampton, who were not a bigger club than us.
Harry Redknapp came from...
Yeah, Harry Redknapp came from
Portsmouth.
And then you've got Ange, who's come from Celtic. And don't get me wrong, I know Celtic are a very big club, but in the football pyramid, they're probably not as big as Spurs because Spurs are in the Premier League. But I know they've got a very big fan base.
Look, I'm a massive Celtic fan as well.
Are. Yeah.
Me and Philip both are. Because we're Irish. When you're Irish, you seem to follow only two teams, either Celtic or Rangers.
Yeah.
Because I was Catholic, it makes you automatically a Celtic fan, and I'm very much a massive Celtic fan. I hate us losing to Rangers. I mean, me and Bobby did the Glasgow derby there last year, and me and Bobby's a Rangers fan on the Full Time Sports Network, and the banter we shove to one another is unreal.
You guys are destined to be rivals, you two.
Oh, we are, but we get on so well though.
He's a good lad.
But I get your point, but I think Ange will make it right. I mean, Ben Edwards here makes a great point. Sir Alex Ferguson did it. He went from Aberdeen, Scotland to Man United. It takes time for them to stamp their identity on the team, and it does.
Yeah, but I wasn't saying that he can't. The answer was based upon why maybe some Spurs fans look down on him. It's because he's come from, in their minds, and this can be argued, like you just kind of argued there.
A lesser league.
A lesser league. It certainly is a lesser league. I don't think anyone can argue that.
Look,
but the lesser club stuff, I think people can argue about. But a lesser league, I think you can't argue that one.
No, you can't. The Scottish League is a two-league. If you took Celtic and Rangers out of the Scottish League, I think the Scottish League would die. Many say it wouldn't, but I think it would.
Probably.
Will McDonald says, my greatest wish for Anne is not to just win a trophy, but elevate this great club back to a level that I remember. Yes, Tequila, I agree with you, but Ange, given time, will elevate us. And
Oh,
also,
100% give him time. That's 100%. I agree with you.
yeah. And he also says, I'm so sorry, guys, you didn't see Bill Nick and Keith Birkinshaw. No,
No.
I was very lucky to see Keith Birkinshaw.
No.
I mean, I was born the year we got relegated, so I remember sort of the end of Keith Birkinshaw's time at the club. I don't remember Bill Nick, only what I've seen in videos. And we're going to go through his thing in a minute. I mean, if he is
Dermot, I've got it's the two criticisms of Ange were the things that I personally am worried about. But I am more than willing to give him, like I say, I think 3 seasons is the kind of sweet spot for me. As of right now, I can't give you an answer regarding if I think Ange is going to take us to glory or not. What I will say is that based on 1 year and 1 year only, we went from 8th to 5th.
Yeah.
So that is progress and that's good. You could say that, is it amazing? No, because amazing probably would have been getting us 4th or maybe even 3rd, which was incredibly difficult. That's why it would be called amazing and not good. So that's where I'm at. I'm not. Do I think Ange has done well? Yes. Do I think Ange has proven to me that he's going to win us the league? No, not after 1 year. But that's not me saying that to get rid of him, because he's only had 1 year. Let him build his team for another year or two and then get back to me.
So what do you say to the fans that say they want him gone? What do you say to them fans?
I would say, and then we'll just rinse and repeat, and then it'll be another rebuild, and then we'll get somebody in who some fans will like and some fans who won't, and then he'll play his own formation. So then some of the players we've bought will no longer fit the system. So then we've got to sell these players, which then takes time. Then we've got to bring in more players for the next manager and start the process again. At some point, you have to kind of cut bait, so to speak. At some point, you have to say, okay, give this guy. I mean, I'm saying 3 years, and maybe that's not. Maybe not. Maybe I'm being impatient with 3. Maybe 3's not enough.
How many times have we heard rinse and repeat? How many times have we gone through rinse and repeat under this sort of ownership over the years since they took over the club? It's very few managers have lasted more than 2 seasons at Tottenham.
It's ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
And do you know what? We've had more caretaking managers under this ownership than the other ownerships put together.
Yeah, it's silly. It's silly, and I don't know how anyone can say it's not silly. I don't know how anyone can say that it's that Ange lasted the season last year, and it was actually an achievement because he lasted a full season. No, just that alone is ridiculous.
We were giggling about that, but it's true.
So stupid.
I just want to go to some of this chat. I've got another talk about square pegs and round holes.
Yeah.
It's just something else you've got, and then we'll go on to we'll go back to this. But there's a few questions that another talking point Tequila brought for, and I think it's a very good point. I love attacking football as much as anyone, but if we don't defend better and are so open, then Ange will not succeed. Since Poch left, our managers have failed to adapt to be attacking or defensively. So true, simply. So true. Big up, though. Great comments.
Yeah.
Joe, getting the sack at halftime is just...
Agreed.
I think a lot of fans went Levy out after that.
Dermo, that was me. That was me. Up to that point, I was very on the fence. But after what he did to Joe, I've just told you how much I love Joe. So to see his face and knowing that more or less the whole crowd knew that he was sacked, and looking at his face, I just felt so bad. I felt so bad for him. I was disgraced with what he did.
I think the Poch year sort of redeemed some of that for me in a way.
Yeah.
Even though I know what I call Poch, and it has caused arguments on this channel by my and Mia used to call him that as well, to be fair.
That's fair enough. Mia actually saw him quite similar to how you did, actually.
Yeah. Look, and also for a kick here or a kick there, we could have won something. Do you know, we could have won back-to-back League Cups if we won the penalty shootout against Man United. We could have won the league against Leicester twice, against Leicester and Chelsea. We could have won the Champions League. So, for a bit of luck on the Poch, but I think my own view is he was tactically in depth. My favourite manager was Harry, Joe, and early Poch year. The early Poch year was great, but the later Poch years was. Yes, Poch is far by the only manager who has brought us joy in recent years. He's made one mistake, start Harry Kane, and I think everyone will agree with that one. And then God, doesn't matter where you come from. What matters is the manager is good at man management, tactically aware and is able to convey tactics to players. That's understandable, and I think Ange is very good at that. I think you make very good points on what you're saying about Ange. But look, we're going to move on from Ange a little bit. We are going to come back to end with Ange and the subject. But the other topic we were talking about, Tequila, was is Ange playing players in square pegs and round holes in the current squad choices? Now, we saw on Saturday he played Dred Spence at left back. We've seen through the preseason he's playing. He played Skip at centre back as well. I think he was doing that because that's the options he had, because other players be in the way. But you have a different view. So
I am concerned.
Have your view first, and then I'll see can I make an anti view.
I am concerned. For example, I'll give you an example like Skip at centre half. Now, I know it was only for the first couple of pre-seasons, but my fear is because we don't want to sell Skippy because of the whole foreign quota thing. I'm just a little bit concerned that he might actually be trying to kind of. I mean, he's testing these players out. I mean, do you think he would really consider Skip a fourth choice centre half? And also, I'm slightly concerned about how he will be treating Jed Spence. Jed Spence is not a left back. And I'm just slightly concerned that he thinks by keeping Jed Spence on, which it sounds like we're going to this year, that he might be thinking that he can kind of be left back as well. And I'm just a little bit concerned about him playing all these players out of position. I'm not sure he knows where to put Kulu either. He said on a recent interview that Kulu can play wide and play centrally. And I think we kind of agree that he's not really good enough to play wide. He's not that kind of a winger, Dermo. I think you agree with me on that. I don't know if he's not a winger. He's not a winger. But Ange seems to think that maybe he can still play him there. And I don't know. It's not a massive concern. I'm just a little bit weary of the number 6 also comes into it as well. It's like now that it's going to be even worse for him because Basuma, I think, is his preferred player to put in the number 6 role, even though we've discussed that he doesn't particularly excel at it. So if Basuma is going to be out of the equation now, I have got no idea who he thinks he's going to play in the 6.
Bunting Cole?
But he's not defensive enough, though.
I know.
He's good on the ball. He'll keep the ball ticking and stuff like that.
Wilton says Ange is confused. Are you confused? Is that more with it where you're at? Are you more confused Are you more confused with this preseason with his team selections? I am. It feels a bit like a scattergun approach, and I guess maybe the argument's going to be, as Wilton's put, that that is the time where you do this scatter. You don't want to be doing this scattergun approach on the important games. No,
but no, I think it's just a couple of decisions he's made, which just worries me a little bit.
Has it sent alarm bells ringing in your head?
I'm not convinced. I think Ange knows his best back. I think Ange knows his back 5. That is not I think it's obvious to everyone and Ange. That's not even a contention.
It's the backup.
It's the back 5. I also don't think he knows which 3 to play in midfield.
Yeah.
And it's easier now that he's bought Solanke. I think it's quite obvious in my mind that Solanke will be the number 1 striker over Richarlison. Yeah. But I'm still not sure he knows what wingers to play. I think maybe Sonny is maybe the guaranteed on the left.
And look, Brennan Johnson is not everyone's cup of tea, I know, but I think he will. He
hasn't done well in pre-season. That doesn't mean he's going to have a bad season, but he hasn't done well in pre-season. So yeah, I don't like I say. I'm concerned that Ange still doesn't know his best team. I think
so. Let's start with the midfield then. We know Ange's back 5, right? We know it's Vicario, who I thought has been good in pre-season, but poor with his delivery. But I still think that was the players' fault more than Vicaria's fault on Saturday with the goal. It was a wonder goal.
Well, Bissouma also, when he asked for the ball and then should never have asked for that ball, that didn't help either.
No, it didn't. So. You're spot on there. So you're looking at the three in midfield. Now, Bissouma's going to be out of it. We think he'll be out of it anyway.
Yeah.
So do you start Archie Gray there? Because he was playing Skip and Archie Gray as a centre-back. So do you put Archie Gray as a number 6? And
here's the issue I've got with Archie Gray, right? I didn't watch that much Leeds, personally, right? I know that he was a good prospect. I can't tell you right now what his best position is. Do you think that he might know, or he might have a preferred, the kid himself, but do you think Ange knows what his best position is? Know. Well, what do you think that? Where do you think that is then?
I think that's 6. I think that's playing that at number 6. I think that's what he was brought in for.
Do you think he's a Højbjerg replacement, more or less? Then?
Yeah, I do.
Do you think that's too much to ask of the kid? I'm asking. No. Do you think that's
if you're old enough, you're good enough.
Just to throw him in there, okay.
No, I watched a bit of Leeds last season, and he was one of the standout players at Leeds. Look, the Championship is different from the Premiership, of course it is.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he's proved to me in pre-season he'd be able to cope with it. We've got Wilton says could he be just holding these cards close to his chest like a good poker player?
Maybe. It's possible.
Yeah, I mean, also we've had the Euros and we've had the Copa America.
Yeah.
Players are back late for that. So was this the ideal time to try these things out? Why these players are not there? And see how did these players cope with it? I mean, Skip did all right at centre-back for the first 2 games with Archie Gray, to be fair.
Yeah, I think the first, I'm going to say maybe the first couple of games against Hearts and QPR and some of the games on the tour, especially the first couple of games on the tour. I think it really was just putting any team out there to get the fitness levels up. I think that's what it was. I think the 2 Bayern Munich games, I think there was much more thought put into the 2 Bayern Munich games. Maybe it's because Ange knew that it was going to be a much bigger test, so that he took advantage of, okay, we're going to be playing against really good players here, so I can see some of these kids, like a Jed Spence. Jed Spence did all right, to be fair.
He did, actually.
Yeah. And obviously, in the second half against Munich, we generally were playing the majority of our probably starters for Leicester. Maybe Milton's right. Maybe I am looking too much into it, and maybe Ange does know his exact 11 already, and he already knows what his exact 11 is going to be. And that's it.
I don't think you are looking too much into it, because there is some concerns about what he was doing. I mean, should we have gone in to bought more centre backs? I mean, one of the questions is which positions in the Spurs squad remain concerned with the transfer window still open. I think it's a number 6 and a defensive midfielder, and another centre back, because I don't think Rudu, I don't think Rudu is all this. I think he has to have time to see what he's like. But is he a good backup? Probably. I think we need another striker. We need a winger as well. So the issues with Rudu, I think, Dermo, is that, and we know his agent's a bit of a dick, right? We already knew that. Yeah, I wish he'd sack his agent.
But this is what I'm getting at. But I think Rudu said something to him. I think Rudu probably maybe. See, we don't know what the conversations were between him and Ange. Maybe Ange said to him, "Yeah, mate, you're going to come in and you're going to be playing X amount of games," and it hasn't ended up happening for whatever reason. Maybe Ange saw him in training, like I say, and was, he's not quite as good as I thought he was. Maybe, and maybe the kid was promised X amount of games and hasn't got it, and he's gone back to his agent saying, "Well, what's going on here, man? I changed country. I moved my family or whatever. Probably I've come over to England. I'm meant to be playing 50% of the games or whatever, and I'm barely getting a look in." And he's complained and moaned to his agent, and then his agent, obviously, that's what agents do, has then started complaining for him. Do you know what I mean? It's another one of these smoke without fires. I think Radu is not exactly thrilled with his Tottenham career, and his agent said stuff.
Maybe you're right. Maybe you're spot on. We've got Simply Ace, Bentacore at number 6, or maybe Bergville.
I think Bergville play further up the pitch than the 6.
I think so. I'm going to get on to that in a minute because I'm Madison for me. I think Bergville should start ahead of Madison on Monday. Gray can play up or back. He's good playing both sides. There's Neil. Big up to Neil. Hog got 10 too early for Archie. I have Bentacore, Madison, Nakulu, Gray, Bergville on the bench. Milton, love the work, lads. Big up. Thank you so much indeed. It's very look. We do this for you. We do these for you guys.
But we don't get paid for it or anything, Milton. Trust me, we don't get paid for it.
No, we don't. Even though we do try.
We do try.
We do. YouTube, make us monetize again.
Please do.
Yeah. Actually, our birthday's coming up very soon.
Have to celebrate that. Have to get you some cake. You have to get you some cake, Dermo.
3 years this channel. I will ask. I know you said it, but I will ask Colin. Will he put together a montage of?
Yeah. That's a good idea.
Early channel stuff.
Come on, guys! Back me up on this. We want to see a young Dermo, right? A 21-year-old Dermo, which I'm sure he was 3 years ago. A 21-year-old Dermo, probably on his phone. God knows where he is on his phone. God knows what the sound quality is going to be like. But we all want to see it, and we want to see the videos Dermo was doing 3 years ago.
Oh, I wouldn't mind actually doing that, doing the montage.
Yeah.
See where we've gone from start.
Com, yes, you will, Com. You're going to do it. Yes, you will.
No, I won't. He's busy doing it now, I bet you. Big up to Milton Day. Thank you so much. You're very kind, actually, for your kind words. Thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoy it, man.
Yep,
I'm
thanks,
glad,
mate.
and thank you. So it means everything to us. And all the lovely comments we get after each show. It does mean everything to us. It really does. Neil says, I think we should watch how to play before to start needing this player and that player. We are at the start of the season now. We will see how this makeover is going. We need to see. We need to see them play. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, 100%, Dermot. Agreed. I don't know what he's agreeing with. I can't remember, but
probably having cake.
Yeah. If it's that, 100% agreed. Big up, DJ. I must have said something right. Daniela says, Orient 4, Newport 1. This is in the League Cup first round. Big up to
well done.
Orient.
Congratulations.
Probably in the bar chatting the lady up.
Yeah, man.
No, I wasn't.
I will be, if that makes it any better.
No, 3 years ago when I started this channel, I was on my phone with Mrs. Tron sitting in one chair, me sitting on the couch doing it on my phone. And then this true as God, and then I spent a next year on the dodgiest laptop going. I had to hold the charger in by hand when I was doing live streams.
Wow.
Because if the charger went out, I did that for a year nearly.
Oh, I hate laptops. Don't get me started on laptops. I can't stand laptops.
And then luckily I was helped to get the setup I've got now, so I ain't finished yet. Cabro first round. You reckon we're getting any more signings in for the end of the window? I don't. Yes, there's 3 more. We've been told 3, hasn't there, Tequila? 2 or 3?
Yeah, we'll definitely get 1, maybe 2. I don't know about. I mean, you know, you need a little bit. Not luck. Luck's not the word, but you know, it just takes one thing. It's like buying a house. It just takes one.
Jonathan David. That's the one to look out for. Jonathan David.
Oh, if we can get him for the rumored price, I think that's a decent. Yeah, if we can get it for the rumored price.
Is there another player that's out Italian for 20 million?
It's this Locati, I think his name is, or Locati. He's a defensive midfielder, which is something we need. Do I think he's the best defensive midfielder around? No, but is he probably better than what we've got in that role? Yeah, probably.
What's Colin saying here?
He wants 2K subs, then he'll do the montage. That's what he's saying.
Okay.
See, told you he's a diva. What more proof do you need?
Yeah. Look, how many are we away from 2K?
104.
Come on, guys. Tequila, look, as I'm getting the next section, the last section show, please just tell them why they should subscribe. Get the granny to subscribe. Get Donald Trump to subscribe. Get Joe Biden to subscribe.
Joe Biden. Don't get me. Joe Biden wouldn't know what he's subscribing to, Temma. He'd be like,
what they did in the 2020.
What
they did in the 2020 US election.
Let's get Hillary. Someone call up Hill Dog. Isn't that what she's called, Hillary Clinton?
Yeah. Get Michael Jackson to subscribe.
Michael Jackson. We're really digging in that one.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
hang on. What was that, Mrs. Tron? Get Elvis to subscribe as well. He's apparently still alive and well.
Yeah, it's Philip Brady. That's who Elvis is, isn't it?
No, that's Tom Jones. Anyway, we do actually name Philip a lot of names on this channel.
No, he likes it really.
He does.
Ignore
Even
what
though
he says,
doesn't, he does.
He does really.
He does, yeah. Damn, it shows you're not making millions like other YouTubers. Yeah, it does show.
Can't even make $10, mate. We can't even order a pizza. We can't even get a pizza in for the lads.
No, I tell you what, I want this channel to be as big as the United stand. That's what I want. But hang on, sorry to get. I'm just checking something on my phone.
I'll run through some of the chats while you do that.
Yeah, just sorry to give us 2 minutes.
We've covered that one, Neil. Comms bit now. You can keep your diva stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
right.
Was.
Okay. Last bit of the show. Right. Have we covered the square pegs and round holes things for you, Tequila? Is that all right?
Yeah, like I say, maybe it's just me. I'll take that. Maybe it could just be me overreacting, and I'll accept that. But I don't know. I'm just a little. I'm not convinced with the squad. What can I say? And of course, we're in the last stages now. The last 2 weeks to be able to do something about it. So I hope you do. But you know.
Yeah. Wilton said, "I've seen a bit of Jay David. I'm not concerned, but as a backup, maybe. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, he wouldn't start every game. Where would you play Jonathan David, Demo? Assuming we keep Richarlison, so he's being bought to be third choice then.
No, I would sell Richarlison.
But let's say we can't sell Richarlison and we bring in him.
Then put Richarlison on the wing. That's where he used to play for Everton on the left wing.
Okay. Yeah.
Does anyone know Ange's plan B?
I don't know if Ange knows his plan B.
I don't think even Ange knows his plan B, but it was a good name for a show. It was. Now, managers at Tottenham, any manager that's been given time has won something. So I've got a list of managers here that have all been successful with time. Now, I have
Demo, before you start this list, I would like to ask Milton, you let us know how many of these, because I know you're an older gentleman and you've been a fan a long time, Wilton. So let us know which of these you've seen in live action. Well,
I don't think he would have saw the first two.
No, he wouldn't have seen John Cameron. I don't think so.
No.
Unless he's got the secret of eternal youth that he's not telling anyone.
Right. John Cameron, 8 years as manager, won the FA Cup. Peter McWilliam, 14 years. But don't forget there was the First World War in the middle of that. Won the FA Cup in 1921. Then we had to wait a bloody long time to 1950 to Arthur Rowe won the Second Division Championship in 1950. And then the following year, he spent 6 years at the club. He won 2 league championships, Division 2, and then the first ever league championship win with the push and run side of 51. Then we went to the greatest manager of all time. This is the greatest football manager Tottenham ever had. I think he's up there with the Busbys. He's up there with Jock Stein. He's up there with the greatest managers of his era, of that time. And I mean, that list, he was there 16 years, Tequila. He won 8 trophies in 16 years.
Yeah, I mean that was the era of the Tottenham dominance, wasn't it? Let's be honest.
It was. League double in 61, of course. FA Cup retained in 62, FA Cup in 67, League Cup winners in 72, 71 and 73, European Cup Winners' Cup in 63, and UEFA Cup winners in 62. Then came the Keith Birkinshaw years. He was at Spurs for 8 years, won 2 FA Cups and 1 UEFA Cup. Terry Venables, 4 years at Tottenham, won the FA Cup in 1991. Now, we all know that we won a trophy, George Graham, in I don't know how long George Graham was at Spurs for. I was trying to go for more than 4 years. I think I might have missed him off the list. Maybe I shouldn't have done. I think he was there for 3 years.
I don't think I'm trying, because Graham was manager when I started. That's when I came into top. That's when I started supporting Tottenham. Graham was just on his. Because he won us the League Cup, which
in 1999,
which was early in my Spurs fandom. So Graham was the manager when I started supporting that. I do remember.
So maybe he should have been on that list. Maybe he should have been.
He won us a trophy at least.
He won us a trophy, but I think he was there 3 years. So which falls into the thing. But the point I'm making is right. The Levy managers, only 2 managers under Daniel Levy has lasted more than 5 years as Spurs manager. One of them was Harry Redknapp for 4 years. The other one was, of course, under Pochettino for 5 years, under the glorious years we had under him, where we didn't win anything, but we were there fighting. Then after Pochettino, Mourinho 2 years. Nuno, the Garden Gnome. Why he ever got the job in the goddamn first place, I don't know.
And remember how long it. Remember, we had all those 2 or 3 months where we were looking and looking and looking, and then that was our end result. Nuno. I
hadn't even started YouTubing then. I was just about to start around that time. But 10 games he, and then of course Conte, who was only there for himself anyway, lasted 2 years.
Didn't even last 2 years, did he? Did he even last 2 years?
Well, he didn't last the full. The point I'm making, none of these managers, well, Mourinho and Conte never lasted the full second year. They were sacked during their second year as Tottenham manager.
Yep.
Poch was the last manager to last 2 full seasons at Tottenham Hotspur. And then, of course, the last bit is Ange the man to take us to glory. Now, I think we've made it very, very clear. We both are Ange in, and we both want Ange to secure. But what worries me, if we don't start well and the crowd start getting unsettled, is Daniel Levy going to have his hand over that trigger? He's paid out more on compensation to managers than he has transfers.
What I was going to say with your list, Dermo, that you just played for everybody, the list of managers, is that the ones who have lasted the longest, there's a correlation now, I think, between the ones who have lasted the longest and the most popular from the fans. See, Redknapp, I know Redknapp had this wheeler dealer, but you got to remember at the time, we kept on finishing 5th and 6th, and we just couldn't quite break that. Couldn't quite break that Champions League duck. Do you remember? We lost it on the last day to Arsenal with the whole West Ham lasagna stuff and everything. So we just couldn't quite break in. Champions League then was like the holy grail. We kept on finishing 5th. We kept on finishing 6th.
And he came in and gave us it.
Exactly. And we played attractive football, and then we had the rise of Modders. We had the rise of Bale. All under his watch. So we were a very good team who played attractive football the Spurs way and did have success relative to what we were looking at, because we couldn't quite break the Champions League duck.
Right. So that bores me down then to Pochettino then. He was 5 years. He's the longest manager Levy's had since the Levy needed took over.
Right, and the reason, Dermo, why I think Pochettino got the longer years is because we were also, by that point, we were kind of flirting with the Champions League. So we'd kind of broken the Champions League duck to a certain degree. But then the next step was the title challenge.
Yeah.
And he got the closest that we got to that. And also, this is another thing, we played good football majority of the time under Poch as well. So we were playing good football, and we were finishing second, which we'd never done before, and challenging-ish for the title. You know, we never really got to the last week, but ish for the title.
Yeah, but my argument to that is that's all good.
Yeah.
That's all lovely. You can wrap that up in a bow. Lovely.
Yeah.
But we didn't win anything. How many mistakes did he make in finals and semi-finals that were tactically wrong?
Yeah, and
Harry Kane in the Champions League final.
I agree, Demo, and that's exactly why he got longer with the fans before the fans eventually said he can't take us. He's taken us to the very brink of these things, but we can't quite get over the line. And Levy saw that as well and thought, well, Jose Mourinho is exactly that kind of manager that takes us over the line.
No, he wasn't.
He didn't end up that way, no. But Levy's flirtation, for lack of a better term, with Mourinho is well known throughout the years before we got him. He wanted him a long time ago. But
if we got Mourinho before he went to Chelsea the first time, I think we would have won something. I think he would have done to Tottenham
from Porto. Yeah, definitely.
He would have turned Tottenham into what Chelsea were turned into. To be fair, would he have been given the time? Who knows? But look, you can't knock Pochettino for what he did. But Pochettino, for me, was he let down by the board? Yes. Was he let down because we're removing stadiums? Yes. Was he stubborn with players that he would keep using again and again? Yes. Yeah. Was he tactically out? Was he? If he had an older manager with him, what was tactically a bit more savvy, do you think he would have success? And I'll get to Indian Gunners why he was timed out in a minute as well, by the way. Do you think we would have won something if he had a more of a tactical savvy assistant with him, somebody that's been there and done it, would have said to him, do you know what, Poch, maybe start Lucas for the Champions League final. Bring Harry Kane on for the last 10, 15 minutes if we need to. Do you know what I'm getting at? Maybe don't start Sonny at left back for an FA Cup semi-final, which we lost 4-2 against Chelsea. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a difficult one because the only thing you can say about Pochettino that he lacked was experience of winning things.
Yeah.
And it's difficult because it's the egg and the chicken thing. It's like, well, until you win something, you can't get that experience of winning something. But
yeah,
so what? Do you know what I mean? It's like,
I mean, you go back to Keith Birkinshaw. He had Bill Nick to fall on. Brought Bill Nick back to the club. Bill Nick built the 80s side that was successful. I mean, Wilton would back me up in that. That had Bill Nick's fingerprints all over it. So he had some of the experience there. Kenny Dalglish, when he won the double in his first season at Liverpool manager, he had Bob Paisley as his assistant manager. Somebody there that we've been there and done it. And I think if you're a young manager, you will need an older head next to you to give you that sort of experience. Or listen, I think you might need to do this, then that. Do you know what I mean? And
I do.
He's had a chance again at Chelsea, and they lost to kids. They literally lost to a bunch of kids. So. Oh, this Pochettino's a great manager. He brought us to places where we could only dream of being. But he wasn't all the greatest and good because he didn't win us anything. It's okay getting to a semi-final or a final when Champions League final. Yeah, that's great. That's brilliant. But at the end of the day, I can't look back at that Champions League final and think, oh, that was the greatest day in my life. It wasn't. It was the worst night in my life. We lost the Champions League final. How can you celebrate losing? You can't celebrate losing. And I can't celebrate losing a semi-final against Chelsea, an FA Cup semi-final against Chelsea. Do you know what I mean? These are winners. These are people that have won stuff. Do you know, Keith Birkinshaw, Terry Venables, they've won stuff. Terry Venables took us to the brink, saved our football club. Also, he should be highly thought of for that as well, by the way. But get back all the shite.
Dermo, do you understand, though? I agree with some of what you're saying, but do you understand, though, for younger fans, maybe even such as myself, younger as in just time.
I get it.
But because it's comparing to what else that we saw over like the last 25 years, for argument's sake.
Yeah.
Of course we're going to think. Of course we're going to view Posh as our best. Of course we are. How can we not?
Yeah. Yeah. I get it. I do get it. Because it's all you've seen. It's all you've known.
We don't know anything else.
You don't know anything else.
No.
I've seen it myself. I grew up in the era when Tottenham, you were proud to be a Spurs fan. You could walk down the Tottenham High Street and you were proud to be a Tottenham fan. All right, we had our 90s Tottenham, which, all right, I used to go there as a kid and watch Ozzy Adilis's Tottenham teams. You didn't know if you're going to go and see a 5-0 win or a 6-0 loss. Do you know what I mean? It was, Ozzy Adilis's first ever team meeting, Tequila, was, right, lads, I want everyone to help Teddy Sheringham. And Teddy said, well, who's going to defend? Oh, just the one centre back and the goalkeeper.
Yeah, he played at 1-0-10, didn't he?
But these are winners. I understand everyone's got this love affection with Pochettino, and so do I in a way, because he brought us to the places we never dreamt we would be. He brought us nearly to the promised land, but didn't get us over the line. But why are we celebrating somebody that hasn't won anything? We should be celebrating these people. Even if you're a young fan or an old fan, Alex Ferguson was the manager that was right. Losing doesn't mean anything to me. Winning means everything to me. If Ferguson, the year Ferguson lost the league to Blackburn in 94-95, he totally dismantled that team that won them the league, the double, and everything. A European Cup Winners' Cup as well, FA Cup. Use kids. Alan Hansen's famous quote on Match of the Day, you're never going to win anything with kids. Them kids had the winning mentality. And that's the problem on the pitch. We had players that didn't have winning mentality. How many of them players threw managers under the bus because they couldn't be bothered to play? Sorry, I'm ranting. I'm sorry.
Sorry, no. You're passionate, mate. This is what the people are here for. But I have to throw a couple of spanners in the works, otherwise I wouldn't be doing my job. Do you think if I'm not going to turn it into a Levy bashing, but I'm going to give you this one. If there wouldn't have been that 3 or 4 transfer windows where we didn't improve the team, that was the opportunity to push on. If we would have pushed on, do you think he would have got us over the line? Yeah. If we would have pushed on?
Yeah.
And not stagnated?
I do. And we stagnated badly.
So that is the board. So you are agreeing with me as that is the board screwed up.
I'm not. I've never. Look, as much as I call Pochettino, what I do call them, the board have to take responsibility as well.
Yeah,
they have to take responsibility for not backing Pochettino. But Pochettino also should have stood up to the board and said, right, if you're not going to back me, I'm going to put it out in the press conferences, you're not backing me. What does he say in the Champions League final? Oh, if we win the Champions League final, I may quit.
Yeah, that wasn't the best thing to say.
Instead of saying, look, if we win the Champions League final, this is the start of a new era in Tottenham Hotspur Football Club.
Yeah,
we keep looking back to the 60s, 70s, and 80s for our success, and the early 90s for our success. I'm lucky enough to be around for most of that, for the tail end of that. You haven't, and that hurts me. That you and Boris and younger fans haven't seen that. And you go back through here. Can you imagine the people that are around them 16 years watching Bill Nick? 8 trophies in 16 years, Tequila. We'd bite our hands up for one of those trophies.
Well, that's what I mean. We'd take one, dude, right now, wouldn't we?
I mean, look, just to go through this again, right? Double in 66. He took over in 1958. Took him a couple of years to put together the double side, right? 61 won the first double this last century. 62 retained the FA Cup. 63 the first British side to win a European trophy. And then there was a bit of a lean period. 67 won an FA Cup. then rebuilt the side again for the 70s, the start of the 70s. 3 trophies in 3 years at the start of the 70s.
Do you understand? I agree with most of what you're saying, but do you understand bringing this into the now, the here and now, and the last under this ownership? Do you understand why we've got such a rich history, and this has become the driest period of our existence, more or less? Do you understand that frustration when with that history, and we can look back at it with pride? I'm not saying we can't look back at it in pride and be proud of it, but then we can't help but look at us today and say, "What? This is the driest period in our existence." I wish we could be like that again. And you get depressed and you get angry, and that's why there is such a divide in the fan base, because so many people are angry.
I think, look, taking myself outside, I have to look out looking in. I think on this answer to this question. Okay, we didn't win anything from 1921 to 1950, 51. Okay, we had the Second World War. Okay, but we went nearly 30 odd years without winning a trophy during that period. Yeah. Now, at the moment, we haven't won anything since 2008, which has been 20 odd years. So we have gone longer. All right, there was the Second World War in between that, but it's not as long as we've gone before. Yes, it's frustrating. Yes, I can understand why some fans do blame the board. I think everyone should take responsibility. I think managers we've had, I think if we had Bat Poch, we would have won something eventually, yes. I think players should take responsibility. It is frustrating, Tequila. Yeah, it is. But for being an older fan, I don't think I'm frustrated, but I'm not as frustrated as you, because I have the knowledge and the memories of us winning stuff where you don't. And I think that's where the frustration comes in. And I think you have every right to be frustrated. You have every right to demand better for this club. And we all should demand better for this club, because Tottenham Hotspur is one of the biggest clubs in the world, in my opinion. The name Tottenham Hotspur means something. What gets me is that you look at other clubs and they cherish their history. We don't. We don't cherish our history. And that's my biggest gripe with this ownership as well. That we need, where's the statue for Bill Nick? Where's the stand, the South stand, the Bill Nick stand? Where's the Arthur Rowe stand, the East stand? Where's do you know what I mean?
I do, and I don't think the board, and this could be, and maybe this is a great example of why it is the wrong board, really, because they don't seem to respect or cherish. They haven't shown it anyway.
No. To
generally cherish or respect football in general, but and maybe we can't expect them to, because this is what it comes back to, is that it's such a long time ago, but ENIC are an investment group. This is what they said they were going to do. They're not they don't particularly love football. They never really said they did. That's the thing.
I mean, you look at Zeddy. He's 2010. He started watching Tottenham.
So so that's what I mean. He's seen Dermo. He's seen nothing.
DJ really. Samuels, like you, saw 2 trophies.
Yeah.
I mean, Simply Ace, me too. I mean, I've seen us win. I barely remember us winning the 81 FA Cup. I was only 4 at the time. 82, I sort of have slightly better memories. 84, I remember winning the UEFA Cup, because I was 7 at the time, so 6 or 7. So I do remember that. I remember us getting to the 87 FA that season under David Pleat, where we nearly did the treble. I remember that season well. I remember the 1991 FA Cup win. I was at the semi-final for Gazza's free kick.
Nice.
I remember 99 and 2. So I remember 81, 82, 84, 91. 91, 2000, 1990. I've seen this win 6 trophies in my year as Tottenham fan. But I was like you in the 90s. Every year that went by, not another year without a trophy. Not another year without a trophy.
Yeah, I mean, the 90s were probably... I mean, the 90s are probably...
Yeah.
It could be the worst period of our history.
Look, I want to get around some of these comments here because we're so behind them. I've starred a lot of them as well, Tequila. So would you mind if I went through them very quickly and then we will
go on then.
end up there? Why was I timed out? Because we don't talk about what you wanted us to talk about. No problem talking about football. Your comments will be brought up any time of the day and night. We respect all other fans in here. Tequila will tell you we do. But what you wanted us to talk about, I couldn't, and I had to time you out to make you realise this is a football channel for football talk only. Banter is great. We love banter in the Arsenal fans. And look, before the season starts, good luck, but we are going to win the North London derby in North London. It's going to remain white.
Love it.
Yeah, I know you do.
He couldn't help himself. He couldn't help himself, could he, guys?
No, I couldn't. No, I think Levy wanted Jones for the Amazon documentary as well, probably.
Yeah, you know what? I bet you maybe Amazon wouldn't have done it if they didn't have Jose Mourinho to front it. Yeah,
I would say so. We've got Wilton. Yes, Dermot, you're correct, but none of these managers have that personal in the background now. Exactly.
True.
Ender Gundren, not comparing him to Wenger, obviously, but just like Wenger, Ange is too stubborn for his own good. Wenger never went for that two more class signings, two cross bridge. Similarly, Ange never played the DM.
I mean, I don't know your history anywhere near as you do, as much as you do in Ian Gunner. So I will respect your opinions on it. But from for looking at it from away, Wenger was bloody amazing. I don't know why Arsenal fans would have any issue with Arsene Wenger considering all the trophies and stuff that he won. Some of the players you bought, some of the football they played. Demo, am I missing something?
Yeah, they had one trait and they won the league on our ground. That still pisses me off.
Well. I'll respect Indian. For his reasons why the Arsenal fans must have got frustrated with Wenger, but I can't see it. So
no, he did make another comment in the chat, so we'll get back to that. It really doesn't make a difference. It's in the past. We don't need to talk about what could have been. Focus on the present. You can debate past failures as much as you want, but it won't change. Exactly. True. Good evening to our third man, our new signing.
Big up
Boris. We made two new signings this year, Tequila, you and Boris. You know,
I can't even remember when I came in. I came in at February or something, didn't I?
You came in and loan, and then we made it permanent in the summer. Do you remember that big contract that Column offered you?
The loan fee. I remember the loan fee. Yeah.
Yeah, the loan fee was £1.99.
What and a bag of already opened Jaffa cakes. I don't even know they were already opened.
I know. Blame me and Wayne Bonner. Simply, as Pochettino had a chance to prove he was world class, but sadly he blew it. Losing the Premier League to Leicester summed it up, and the Champions League final was just painful. Yeah, it was painful. We've got Dafar Hashar. Lou, in my opinion, Cliff Jones or Dave Mackay. Ooh. Cliff Jones as the best winger the club's ever seen, and Dave Mackay was just a hard man.
Yeah.
Him and Graham Roberts in the same team would be some pairing. Oh. DJ, hopefully win something soon. I am glad Dermo's on the same hymn sheet as me, says Simply. I mean, this is the Dermo Tequila's been missing, to be fair.
This is Dermo in his deluded glory, but we love him for his deluded glory.
Yeah. Tottenham for the quad. Hashtag the quad is on. Terry Venables is one of my favourite Tottenham players of all time. Yeah, Wilton. Yeah. I still got to get him and Philip to do a show together.
Yep, I think they did. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. 90s games, you stand up 4-3, some good. Oh yeah, there were. You need to watch the Aussie stuff, Tequila. You just fall about.
Yeah, I haven't seen enough of his stuff. I'm gonna have to watch some of his games in charge.
Simon Cohen, I've supported Spurs since 1967. I was 10. Damn man. Louis Chew Music. Just imagine the same trophy drought as England. We would go medal.
Not wrong.
Yeah, try supporting a country that's never won a damn thing in its whole.
That's true.
international career. I mean, we get to a World Cup and that's good enough.
That's like you winning. That's like you winning the trophy, isn't it?
But we got to the 1990 World Cup and we did reach the quarterfinals in our first ever World Cup. England's first ever World Cup, you lost 2 games and one of them was to the USA, and you came home with the tail between your legs.
Dermo, I don't even think my mum was born by then, so I can't. You can't be like rubbing it in my face.
How the mighty have fallen. Right. My answer to tequila is, while I do understand the younger generation frustration with this period of our history, I think the oldie generation is even. Yeah, I think so. Big up to Indian Ghana. Adama. I started supporting Arsenal when I was 8. The same year Arsenal won the league. Yeah, thank you. You would have to bring me back to that most painful, pitiful, annoying game. And it was a North London derby as well. Tequila, right? And all I have images of them lot winning the league in the corner with their fans, and that traitorous son of a gun there celebrating. With the other cheating little treacherous little slime ball.
Somebody's triggered there, mate. Well done.
It's like that fella that uses his hand. You don't use your hand in football.
That's funny. You see, whenever you bring up Maradona to me with glee, you seem to think that's fine.
He didn't use his hand, Tequila. He used his head. He used his noddle.
Did Henri didn't use his hand then?
What do you think? What do you think is attached to the end of his arm?
I'm just wondering. Just wondering if he did or not. Did it hurt even more that it was Henri? Like, if it would have been just a different French player.
It actually was. It did hurt more because it was Henri, to be fair. I'm being honest. Simply HD saying me. I think we've gone through all of them, actually. Band of God. That sounds like a rock band.
Are they calling me? Is this a different name for me? This Taki area?
Yeah, Taki. I quite like it.
Are they spelling it on purpose? You're butchering my name.
Like it.
Are they butchering my name on purpose? What does that mean?
Pardon, Mrs. Tron?
Sounds like a Christian rock band.
Sounds like a Christian rock band. Band of God, says Mrs. Tron. She's going to find them on YouTube now and start dancing around the house with them. You can imagine going like this. Yeah, haha, tequila. But
I don't know what that word. Somebody needs to tell me what the word means if I'm being ridiculed. Come on, at least fill me in on the joke, lads. At least fill me in on the joke.
Sorry. Here's Mr. John Fitzpatrick. We're so behind in the chat, John. I do apologise. Hope you're doing well, you and the family in Limerick.
He's asking if it's been blocked.
No, he hasn't been. I wouldn't allow him to be blocked. He's my Irish brother. He knows that, Mr. Fitzpatrick. He says, we've won 2 trophies in the 90s. Rode the clock forward. We've won 1 trophy in 24 years. No way good enough for this football club. Leave it out in account. No. John Fitzpatrick is a big leavey out. Comes in, read out his comments. He's fully respected. I'm happy we gave Man City the league. I got news of Man City. We're going to end on that bit of breaking news, actually.
Okay.
After 5 appearances, Ulaine became a permanent signing, says Column. So there you go.
Only 5? You must have held me in real high regard then, Com. I appreciate it.
I got
Mexican restaurant specializing especially in tacos and
okay. Boris,
okay.
Boris, I'll talk to Tequila after the stream. I'll get back to you on that. Where is it? Where did I see this bit of? Oh yeah, this is breaking news. It's not Spurs related, but I want to play the Spurs breaking news thing because I like it because I made it and it's good.
Simple man, though, man. Bless you.
Yes.
Come on in. Yeah. Fire it up. I'm waiting for it.
Yes, D. Trump sitting in his car driving around Florida looking for votes.
Trying to find Tony Montana there, man.
Is that you do? On that bomb. This was supposed to be an hour show. We've gone for nearly 1 hour and 50 minutes. I think me and Tequila together is dangerous.
Seems to be.
Yeah, it seems to be. Here, this is breaking news. Here, the case has been moved forward. Tequila starts next month and may heard outcome by.
Dermo, did you mute yourself?
No.
Oh, okay, I thought you did.
I I think that's a pre-record. We need to do a pre-record on that, Tequila. We need to do a pre-record on that because that is news that's worth
unless their lawyers push it. And you know what lawyers can do, dude.
I just want Man City done now. I want them done.
Their lawyers are going to dig in and delay.
Mrs. Tron. Sorry, I just had to give Mrs. Tron the signal, and she knows what that means. It means Dermatron's going to get his dinner soon, because Dermatron's hungry.
Yeah, we'll end up in a sec. It's been nearly 2 hours anyway, dude.
Yeah. Look, me and Tequila will do a video on that. We may do one tomorrow for that, actually, for the Man City thing.
Dermo, apparently I'm a Mexican, according to Neil Shafton, I'm a Mexican restaurant specializing especially in tacos and burritos. I don't mind. I quite like tacos and burritos.
I just can't take the image that you look like Donald Trump now.
It's meant to be Levy, but if you see Donald Trump, you know, I mean, it's each to their own kind of thing.
Just give us 2 minutes, Tequila. Just go over the last few chats, and then I'll be back.
Okay. Okay, Neil Shafton again. Yes, it's Atakiria. Okay. I will look that word up to make sure you guys are not telling me porkies. So I'm not making myself look like an idiot. Not that it's difficult.
You're not an idiot. You're looking for votes. You want to make Spurs great again.
Where is my make Spurs great again? Where is my toupee, Dermo? Where's my toupee?
You should put one. I want to make Spurs great again.
I'll see if I can add some text for it next time. Make it. Be great if I can find a background with like a rallying thing at the bottom.
Yeah.
Or like a.
I'm sorry, Tequila. I do apologize, but that was just.
I am more than fine, bro.
John, I mean, you're not blocked, mate. Okay, big up to DJ, Indian Gunner, at Dermo. I respect Spursmen and artificial clubs like City and Chelsea.
You know what, Dermo? I'll say the same back. Much as obviously I dislike Arsenal because of we're rivals. You're not a artificial club like City or Chelsea.
No, you're not. And look, Bobby's a big Arsenal fan. Who's a big on the Full Time Sports Network, our YouTube partner channel. And I tell you what, guys, you see this little QR card up here? Hang on, sorry, up here in this corner. Actually, I'll tell you what, I'll make it bigger. This is what I want you to do, if you can. Look at this. Look at that. I'm magically making it bigger. Please hit that QR code and you get 10% off. Wraith Energy are our official YouTube partner. They are officially sponsoring this show. So please use the code THFCTID for your 10% off. Hit the QR code for all your energy drink stuff, caps, mugs, everything. And keep tequila into M&M's. It's so important we keep tequila into Jaffa Cakes.
We've got to feed that addiction, dude.
We've got to feed. But big up India gonna off. Yeah, you're respected too. Dermot, Man City will not pay too much of a penalty. I think they will, working for what I'm hearing. And Neil Shafton says, if you live in LA, you need to know Spanish. Gracias. That's all I know.
Yeah.
Tequila.
Yes.
Where can people find you, sir?
You'll find me on here. We do have a schedule, guys, and I will be putting it at some point soon. I'll be putting it on the front page if you guys haven't want to check it out. But me and Dermo will be on. If I'm wrong, Dermo, tell me. But me and him will be on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and depending on when the games are at the weekend, I'll be joining him for the post match and maybe some watch-alongs depending. So that's when you'll see me and Dermo together. So I'll be on this channel quite a lot. And I'm on the Play Pouch, which is my own little gaming channel with my friend. We normally do 1 or 2 shows a week where we discuss something from the games industry. This week we are reviewing a game called Mass Effect 2, who games might have heard of. It's quite an old game, but it was a very good game. So that was our show this week. Thanks again for having me on, Dermo, and I'll see you guys next time. Yeah, it's not a talking thumb, Dragon Seas Notch, right? It's like it's meant to be a lime. It's a lime. It's meant to be a lime.
Hang on. Here we go. This is for you, Tequila. Excuse the spelling of your name, but there you go.
TW. That's meant to be Tech Trump. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Dan.
D&D. D&D. Not tonight.
That's something. Yeah, that's something that might be coming on Double Dumb Gaming, which is Demo and Com's Gaming.
Oh, yeah.
channel.
Double Dumb Gaming. Yeah. You can find me, of course, here on TOGFC Till I Die, my home. You can also find me, of course, on European Football Network Till We Die, where there'll be bits of football going up there, Premier League games. The internationals will be going on there as well. Also, you can find me and Colin on our gaming channel, Double Dumb Gaming, the second best gaming channel around, behind the legends that are at the Play Pouch.
Oh, thank you,
so please, do hit the like there. We've got
Hod God. I just quickly Hod God. Yes, that is a very good. Yep, they're very good games.
Yeah,
just wanted to get that in there. Thanks, Hod God.
But look, guys, hit the like button, hit the subscription button, get us to 1,900 before tomorrow's stream. Do hit hit that little QR code and help us and help our official partner on this channel, Wraith Energy, to get your race stuffs. And please do hit a subscription on the Full Time Sports Network, our official YouTube partner. And Colin, I am so sorry, but you are right. We are the best gaming channel. Sorry, but not sorry. On that bombshell,
you're going to pay for that one. He's going to pay. Com's going to pay for that one.
On that bombshell, we're going to leave you be, and we're going to bounce out of it. Come on, we're back tomorrow at 9 o'clock, I think.
I thought it was 8, but
I don't know. I can't remember. Where we're gonna, me and Tequila and Boris, we're gonna look ahead to the Premier League season, guys. I will be putting a link in for the Fantasy League as well into the community section. So please join if you want to join our Fantasy League team. Also, me and Tequila and the guys here, we're gonna have our own little competition. We're gonna every week we're putting in our own predictions for the scores, and then every Tuesday, me and Tequila will be going through the results and adding the table up. Whoever wins gets a prize. Whoever finishes last gets a wooden spoon. We've got lots of amazing new content coming on this year. On that, because Tequila is now wanted by Boris. See that's your calling, texting them.
I'm getting a lot of messages. I'm sure everyone can hear in the background. Yes.
Yeah. Adios, everyone. Great shows. Thank you very much.
Take care, guys.
Great stream as usual. Thank you so much, Wilton. Coy's the best Spurs channel out there. Woo! Thank you so much indeed. Great shows. Nice. Can't wait. Hype. As we're going to get here, thank you all, guys, for watching. Whatever you do, always love your Spurs. Love your family first and your wife and your children first. But love Tottenham second. Trust in Ange. We're going for glory. Come on, you Spurs and Big Ange, we trust.
Quite.